Hello everyone, we're back with... This is probably Star Trek, right? This is Star Trek? This is what it's about? I mean, you can see space, there are stars in the background there. So I thought since, today we're getting our first Borg episode, which is, the first kind of horror episode. I guess conspiracy could be that. But it's space zombies. Let's just have some nice, relaxing Minecraft background, Minecraft music. Everyone loves Minecraft. Yeah, Q Who is the first episode for today. I just realized I didn't actually queue it up. So, I'm gonna have to switch off Minecraft a little bit early to go look at that. Yeah, everyone loves Minecraft. So, yeah, I like all of today's episodes, really. Today's episodes are pretty cool. Everyone loves Q Who, obviously. Everyone loves the Space Irish, as we know. And then the other one, I don't remember what it is, but I know I really like it. It's a good episode. What episode is the third one? So, the Space Irish episode. The thing about the Space Irish episode. We're gonna try and ignore the fact that it's stereotyping an entire culture. We're just gonna try and leave that out. Like we tried to ignore the racism of the African planet. I don't even remember. Code of Honor, is that the name of the episode? We're just trying to ignore that part of it. And just try and enjoy the episode for the silly little space adventure it is. Yeah, oh, this isn't just a video background, by the way. It's running very slowly because I have all the render distance up ridiculously high, but yeah, it's Minecraft. Code of Africa? That sounds right. It's probably called Code of Africa. I should probably turn down the settings. This is that's slightly excessive. There we go. There we go. I decided I like amplified worlds. If I actually play some Minecraft, I think I'll play on an amplified. It's pretty cool. Realize mountains. Alright, I should probably queue up the episode myself, so let's blur the screen while I get set up over here. Play some regular jazz instead. Things are going okay. I'm still alive, which is always ideal. No plague here. Star Trek TNG Season 2 on Amazon. And I am using the Amazon version. It shouldn't matter for synchronization. But if you're noticing yourself getting desynced and you're not on the Amazon version, that's what I'm using. No, I don't want an ad on my Amazon. I'm paying for this service, I don't want your advertisements. Oh, Samaritan Snare. Oh, Samaritan Snare is great. What do you mean? What's with the frowny face for Samaritan Snare? Everybody loves Samaritan Snare. We get the Packlets. They look for things that make them go. Packlets are great. Ah, now I remember. Jordy can make them go. It is difficult to understand. Everyone loves Packlets. Alright, everyone press play in 3, 2, 1, play. Where Riker ignores Worf and is right? Yeah, again. Every single time. Worf is most of the time correct. He's usually correct. Oh yeah, Ensign, I mean, I keep wanting to say Ensign Selena Gomez. I don't even know why. Does she even look like Selena Gomez? And I know that's not her name. Is she Ensign Gomez? Is that why I'm thinking that? Sonia Gomez. Okay. Yes. Her name is definitely not Selena Gomez. Does she... Hang on. What does Selena Gomez even look like? Let me just look this up. Kinda. Kinda similar. I think after this we see Sonia Gomez in one more episode. Is that true? I think we see her one more time, but I could be wrong about that. What do you mean you forgot you had it in your hand? You just replicated it like 30 seconds ago, Sonia. Sonia, what are you doing? Yeah. Um, yeah, we know why Sonia Gomez doesn't show up anymore. Captain Picard is not pleased. Wow, Picard, you don't even know that? Wow, he doesn't even know his own crew members. Disgusting. What a terrible captain. Chick's panicking. She's panicking. I'm just watching Jordy in the background. Like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Did I hire this person? He's enjoying himself, though. He's having a good time. Sonia's not. Captain Picard is not. But at least oh, that's a weird camera shot. Oh, that looked really weird. I don't think they used that kind of effect later on. It looked a little bit fisheye there. Oh, hey, John. Oh, well, that's nice of him. See, John Delancey's a pretty nice guy. Do you think he orchestrated Sonia Gomez? Is Sonia Gomez a real person, or did Q put her there to spill hot chocolate on Picard so he would have the opportunity to clean it for him? Does Sonia Gomez actually exist? Oh, hey there.
Hello.
Just adjust the volume. Okay, seems good. All right, let me look up if Ensign Sonia Gomez ever shows up again. Let's see. Apocrypha, no. Yeah, she'll show up in Samaritan Snare. She's in Samaritan Snare. That doesn't rule out the option that she either is or was created by Q. But she does show up again. Remember, don't press the skip intro button, tempting though it is. It's very important. So how's it going? How are things? How's your own personal Minecraft world? How's that going? I assume everyone has one.
No, although I do play Second Life. That's going pretty well.
I see. I probably shouldn't be checking my email on stream. Kind of thing. If you saw the screen go white, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that if I'm not entirely certain that my screen isn't blurred. It's probably a bad idea.
I'm sad we never see this girl at the beginning who says please and thank you to the replicator.
Yep, Samaritan Snare, the next episode, it's her last episode. She couldn't handle it on the Enterprise.
She would have been a good recurring. Yeah, true.
I mean, she did have a very, very rough first day. Terrible first impression with the captain. And then people started getting assimilated by the Borg, and the ship was being carved up like a Christmas turkey, I think they say.
True.
It's a bad first day. I don't blame her for leaving. Probably request a transfer right after this episode. Her voice does kind of sound like she's artificially raising it, though. That doesn't sound like... Let me try that again. She doesn't sound like she's speaking naturally. Oh, we got some spooky music. Something spooky's gonna happen. I don't think that... I don't know if that was Jordy flirting. I think that's just Jordy. It might be him flirting. I don't know. I'm not in his headspace, but I might just be Jordy being weird. He's trying. Yes, this is a lot of spooky music. We understand something's going to happen. Really building the atmosphere here, which, you know, really good for an episode you're watching. Not so good when you need to find something to talk about. To, what is it, 14 people currently. Yeah, Jordy and Leah Brahms. That wasn't great. And that episode, the way it ended, was also pretty bad. Like, Jordy was being a creep the entire episode, then he turned it around and blamed it on Leah Brahms. And Leah Brahms apologized for, you know, existing. And being offended by his being a total creep. It was a weird ending to that episode. Yeah, it is odd that nobody noticed the captain isn't on board anymore. I mean, one assumes that he's supposed to be in his quarters, he's not supposed to be on the bridge, so nobody's looking for him. But the computer really should have noticed. We already know that the Enterprise is constantly scanning everyone's thoughts, so why not scan the captain? Some L. Orion. Precognition? She knows something's up. And everyone just immediately believes her. They know what's up with Guinan. Oh, now you tell us, computer. Does the computer know when he was last on board? Does it know how long it's been? That's a good question, Wesley. It's a very good question. Yes, the great thing about computers, as everyone knows, is they always do exactly what you tell them to do. The terrible thing about computers is that they always do exactly what you tell them to do. If you didn't ask it to scan for the captain, it won't do it. If you didn't ask it to alert you, it won't. And apparently they didn't ask. I mean, how... They don't know how long he's been gone. What if he's gone like 8 hours? Could have just flown in the opposite direction. Oh yeah, they don't have warp drive for some reason. Why does this not... I mean, there's clearly no room for it in the shuttle itself. Because The shuttle's just a hollow box. There's no engine components or anything in here. Quiet night in 10 forward. Oh, hey, Guinan. I was about to ask where she went, because she's always in 10 forward. Does she even have quarters, or does she just live there? I I don't know how to interpret that expression from Riker. What? He was... Why was he smiling at Worf like he knows something? Like it's all part of the plan. Also, just pretend this part of the episode doesn't happen. Just pretend this doesn't exist. Because Guinan being any kind of threat to Q, I don't think that really makes any sense. That's not true. She's only ever been a help to the ship. And we know she's been Guinan since the Mark Twain episode, which was, a couple hundred years ago. Actually, how long ago was Mark Twain? Is that 150? 100?
So they're in the 23rd century, and Mark Twain was the 19th century. 400 years.
Yeah, so that was like 150 years ago our time. So yeah, 24th century plus 300. Yeah, a long time ago. So she's been Guinan for like 400 plus years. I don't know what he's on about.
So they're in the 24th century, so it's 500 years, really.
So yeah, just pretend that whole part of the episode didn't happen. That gets retconned later. Don't worry about it. We're still in season 2. Dangerous forks, dangerous liquors. So hypothetically, if this wasn't retconned, what kind of threat could Guinan pose to Q? We know she has some kind of awareness of, like, timeline changes. She could sense that Q was nearby or that he was responsible for Picard's disappearance.
Hypothetically, she has telepathy, and we know she, like you said, she has sensitivity to time travel. But hypothetically, she could fight a Q, which gives her hypothetically unlimited powers.
And as Hannah pointed out, she does have a gun behind the bar.
Right.
So maybe it's an anti-Q rifle.
But she had that claw maneuver. Like I've thought about this too. So that claw, it seems like she was having Palpatine lightning bolts ready to zap out of her.
Maybe it's an Ambojitsu move. Maybe that's what you do when you don't have the big stick and the samurai armor. Now the claws could have been like a ward, that's true.
I mean, they were ready to fight like cats and dogs, Guinan and Q. So she looked like she was gonna get him bruised.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we are kind of assuming that the weird hand thing was some sort of magic spell. Yeah, they could have just been preparing to actually like claw at each other. I mean, he's right there. There's the Borg. There's the Dominion. There's 8472.
The Hirogen.
Are the Trojan really a threat, though? They were a threat to Voyager, but Voyager was just one ship. I think Starfleet could easily take the Hirogen.
Such good writing.
Oh, thanks, Q. Now, Q does love his spinning. It's a good trick. We all know this. Oh, wow, only 2 years. That's way faster than Voyager. They're not. I don't think they're as far out as Voyager, but they can still apparently go way faster.
Voyager was 40,000 light years. This was 7. Still, 2 years is nothing.
So let's do some rounding and say it's Voyager is 6 times further out. And based on the time here, it was like 2.5 years times 6. It's like 15. Let's say 20 years maximum. Assuming the Enterprise stops to explore a little bit. 20 years maximum to do the Voyager.
Return home.
Yeah. Man, the Enterprise D is way faster.
The Intrepid is faster because it has a
Yeah.
higher maximum warp speed.
Canonically, but yeah.
Gotcha.
Good old season 2. No, that's gonna be every season. Warp speed, warp factor doesn't really make sense. Don't worry about it.
The scale is recalibrated every once in a while.
Yeah. I think didn't Discovery actually use a meaningfully correct warp scale? They actually tried to make it work. I think they did that. Where they'll give like we're traveling at warp whatever, and we'll go this distance in this amount of time, and you do the math and it actually works out. It seems like Voyager did, or not Voyager, definitely not Voyager. It seems like Discovery did actually try to make that work.
The worst was Star Trek V: The Final Frontier.
Oh yeah,
Because they go to the center of the galaxy in like a day.
yeah. Man, the original Enterprise was really fast.
I saw the Daystrom Institute Technical Library website, which has been around since the 90s. They
Is that
had
faster
a
than
theory.
Star Wars Hyperdrive?
Hyper speed is light speed, so no.
Well, they call it light speed, but every time they give a distance, they move like halfway across the galaxy in like 2 days.
Right.
I think light speed
I
is
mean,
just a colloquialism.
Star Wars is an action series, so they're not even trying to get it right. They don't have a writer's technical manual like Star Trek did.
I don't think the technical manual really helped.
But there was a fan theory, that there must be like warp highways, because otherwise there's no way how you could get to the center of the galaxy in a meaningful amount of time.
Yep, everyone loves the Borg. We're gonna have a great time with them. Ludicrous speed, that generally is called transwarp, I believe ludicrous speed is. The Voyager did experiment with ludicrous speed, it's true. Didn't really work out for them too great. But they tried it out a couple times.
Then they had quantum slipstream drive also.
That's true. Voyager didn't use plaid when they went to ludicrous speed. They just kind of had the camera shake a little bit, and then people were yelling about the ship falling apart.
And Tom Paris turned into a lizard.
Yep. It's a good episode.
A guppy, more accurately. So the
That's some
word Borg
fancy costume design.
comes from cybernetic organism. Cyborg.
I think this uniform, or I think this costume is actually more detailed than later Borg, isn't it? It looks fancier.
Yeah, it's like is it like spandex or runner's tights with
Yeah, it's
lots of
also not.
tubing?
It's not pure metal. It has, like, the dude's wearing an actual clothing underneath all the metal stuff. By the way, people in the YouTube chat, how is the how's the audio compared to me and Mr. Fiddle here? How are relative volumes?
Hey guys, we have the best chat in the world.
Yeah, these Borg are much more comfy in their clothing. Much cozier.
These joggers Borg. These Borg like to work out.
All right. Just set it to kill. It'll work out. Okay, well, that's that problem solved. No more Borg. We've did it.
So this Borg has Bluetooth or something. He's just like sucking the information out of the screen.
Yeah. I'm not I'm not totally clear why a download would disrupt the screens like this. I guess he's just being very mean about it. But it's certainly dramatic. Oh, those parts came out really easily. They were prepared for this. Yeah, this will also... Actually, I don't know if it gets retconned or if the Borg just kind of changed their objective later. They kind of stopped going to retrieve their dead. That's something they changed later on. I'm not sure if I would describe it as something happening between her people and the Borg. It was more that something that happened to them by the Borg. Yeah, Elorians didn't have a great time. Yeah, that's not true. No, they definitely do it piecemeal. They send one cube to assimilate Earth. It's absolutely piecemeal. If they just sent another cube, they would have won. People have hypothesized that they wanted Starfleet to win, so they're just forcing Starfleet to actually go more technologically advanced to speed that up and farming technology from them. Just let them develop a bit more. What does that mean exactly? What are the Borg going to punish them with? What's the worst they can do? They're already going to assimilate them.
You'll
Yeah,
be
Troy, I'm not.
punished.
I'm not sure that's true. That one giant mob is less likely to make mistakes than an individual person. I'm not sure that's true. A person is smart. People are dumb, panicking animals, and you know it. That's true. Maybe assimilation is the good thing, and just straight up killing them is the punishment. Like, you don't deserve to be assimilated. You know, like the Kazon. Just wipe them out. That
Guy,
didn't look like the source.
Guinan is just exposition the whole time. She's just sitting alone in the conference room. She doesn't want to be part of the action.
I mean, what else is she supposed to do? She's just gonna like throw drinks at them, throw drinks in their face, maybe try and short them out.
True.
I guess she does still have some magic powers. She could try. Yeah, I've got to talk over the awesome music. I can't just sit here quietly. Why does... Why am I not seeing... The blurred screen here. Why can I not really see anything? I can see the sort of Amazon X-ray come up on the side when I hover over it. But I can't really see the actual episode. If I unblur it, is it there? No. Fascinating. If I unblur the screen,
Mine's not showing.
I get all the controls and I get the subtitles, but the actual video doesn't show up. Fascinating. It's there for me, I see it, but it's not on stream. How does that even happen?
And I don't see anything. I don't see any cast or anyone on the left side like you do. I just see play and rewind, and that's it.
I mean, it's not even like it's capturing the Amazon window and Amazon is refusing to give the video to OBS for copyright. It's capturing that entire display. Okay, so there's if I capture screen 2. And if I capture screen 1. Fascinating. What if I minimize Amazon? No, if I minimize Amazon, then you can see what's behind it. Huh. What if half the screen is Amazon? So if half the screen is Amazon and half the screen is YouTube, or Minecraft. Huh. No idea. Yeah, Riker, don't be such a baby about it. It was just a few crewmates. 18 people, not a big deal.
A Voyager episode established that the Borg are about 900 years old in the 24th century.
Yeah, because they were still pretty weak when the Vodwar were power.
Right.
Just a handful of systems.
And interestingly, Seven established that the Borg dissimulate cats and dogs also, which is pretty weird.
Why are cats and dogs worthy of assimilation, but the Kazon aren't? They just really hate the Kazon.
Just like, you know how they say pigs are as smart as a dog? I guess a Kazon is dumber than both.
Star Trek Destiny has a good origin story for the Borg. I'm not sure I want an origin story for the Borg. I think I'm happy to leave them as, like, a mysterious force of nature. Granted, that kind of gets undone somewhat in Voyager when we see a lot of the Borg, but nothing to do about that now. I've already seen that. Oh, good point. 9 lives technology. That's what the Borg want. That's how they regenerate so well. They assimilated the regeneration from cats. Oh, that makes sense now. I gotcha.
The William Shatner novels, Star Trek Preserver, it also has an origin story for the Borg.
Okay, but does it have like a very William Shatner centric origin story for the Borg?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Okay. Because that's pretty much all I've heard about the William Shatner novels, that they all are just self serving William Shatner focused.
Yeah, I mean, he had 2 co-writers, but that couldn't. He just keeps coming back.
Yeah, I haven't read any Star Trek books. Maybe I should at some point.
Didn't you read Andrew Robinson's backstory for Garrick?
No, I want to. I just haven't yet. I'm still looking for a physical copy. I mean, I'm not looking that hard. I'll look like once every few months. I'm sure I could find one if I really dedicated to it, but. Or I could always get the Kindle version. Download a PDF. I can make it work.
Yeah.
Some kind of stasis.
And anyway, I don't want to spoil it, but we'll see it soon enough. Something else that had to be written out.
I mean, we can totally spoil things that happen in the episode. That's fine.
It'll happen in a second anyway.
Okay.
It's great suspense.
The only things we can't spoil are Discovery Season 3. And I think that's it. I think everything else has been long enough.
There's a beauty in the storytelling and suspense to every episode, and this episode is about every suspense. But thank you.
Someone says hardware acceleration might be the issue. It seems like a lot of problems with Chrome. The answer is if you have hardware acceleration on, turn it off. If you have it off, turn it on. Just toggle hardware acceleration. It seems to solve a lot of issues. Yeah, no spoiling Discovery Season 3. Or if we do spoil it, then that would be like between episodes or after the stream. Be like, okay, the rest of this is going to be that mouthpiece looks horrifying. Really going with the body horror for these early Borg. That just looked awful. Yeah, if we talk about Discovery Season 3, we have to actually preface that, because that's actually new. Can't assume everyone's seen that yet. Alright, let's turn off hardware acceleration. Now, I can't act... To get that to work, I have to restart Chrome. So it's just going to be black for a while. Don't worry about it. Oh, they've got some kind of a leak. Borg should really look into that.
You're talking about the steam from the pipes?
Yeah.
I love that matte painting that they did. Gives it great depth. TNG had the best matte paintings. This is before CGI. Well, not before.
Before CGI was halfway decent.
Before CGI was more dominant than the actual set of the show.
Yeah, this is decidedly not a Borg maturation chamber.
Yeah, we never see this again. This is what I was trying not to spoil before.
Just the shelf babies.
Well, I think like in vitro fertilization was new in like the 70s or 60s. And it was very difficult and expensive, even in the 70s. So They're the cutest babies born in a test tube.
Yeah, they're trying to like do some body horror here. Like, oh no, they're even assimilating babies. I can't take it seriously. It's a little cyborg baby in a shelf. You can't. No. Does it, Data? It kind of looks exactly the same, Data. Do, do the Borg, you know, manually procreate to try and be family friendly?
He says
Right
they're
here,
born normally,
yeah.
which would agree with that.
They're certainly not later on, but as of this episode, maybe the Borg just, do it the normal way. So yeah, that
With
was a lot
absolute
of damage from their phasers. Blew
with
giant holes
absolutely
in that
no
ship.
feeling.
Yeah, no feeling whatsoever. Like the Vulcans.
Just get it over with.
Riker, who says it like that? Who actually says 10 to the third power? Just say 1,000.
Like it's like logarithmic scale or something.
I'm sorry, Jordy, could you please explain these warp scales as a factor of 10?
Like
I don't think the Vulcans would describe it as being enjoyable. I think they would just say agreeable. It would be
wait,
agreeable to procreate with someone.
it would be logical to procreate with someone.
As much as we're kind of making fun of it, this is actually a really great sequence. Just the Borg. There's no escape from the Borg. No matter what you do, the Borg will just chase you down. The Borg are basically
Yeah.
persistence hunters right now.
Q's poses are also ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's like trolling them as they're like running for their lives.
All they have to do is ask for help. He'll give it. You can't outrun them. You can't destroy them. If you damage them, the essence of what they are remains. They regenerate and keep coming. Oh boy.
They are relentless.
They are relentless. Thank you, John. That's a good line, John. Yeah, how come the Borg aren't quoting Shakespeare as they chase down the Enterprise? It should be quoting Shakespeare here.
I mean, it's dramatic enough.
What if what if the Enterprise just immediately stopped? Would the Borg ship just crash into them and explode? Would that be a more effective way to destroy the Borg and self-destruct? Just hit the brakes. It's like a reverse Last Jedi move. You don't go hyperdrive through the enemy ship. You let the enemy ship hyperdrive through you. Yeah, reverse holdo. Exactly. It's very polite that the Borg stop firing, though. Oh, more spinning. It's a good trick. And no, that is not a Babylon 5 reference, thank you.
All you have to do is say please, Picard.
Turns out the solution to all their problems is just talk. Just talk it out. No, it's not a Farscape reference. You all know what it's a reference to.
So the whole episode was just Q having a little fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what are you worried about, Picard? You lost 18 people. You've got 1,000 people on board and trillions in the Federation. Don't worry about it. It's 18 people. Don't be a baby about it.
Actually, there was no way for him to learn that lesson without this whole thing. Q was looking out for us.
And clearly, Q's entire premise for this was just a lie. Because he said he wanted to be a member of the crew and he was going to convince them that they needed him to be a member of the crew. And then he just left. So he was just lying before. He just wanted an excuse to throw them into the Borg's path.
Just wanted to psychologically mess with Picard a little bit.
Is that... Are those chess pieces? What's with the futuristic space chess?
He was right about the line, though, that there are terrorists to freeze your soul out here. Like, Guinan should have told him.
How do you tell which pieces are yours? Because there's blue... I mean, it looks like there's sort of blue and tan ones, but there's also what looks like a red one. Maybe it's just the lighting. No, that is also tan. It was just the angle and the lights.
It looks like the gold ones have a red base at the bottom. And the blue ones have a silver one.
Other than the color, though, all the pieces are identical. So it can't be something like chess.
Right. It's definitely not chess.
Well, wait, and it can't be checkers, because that move was definitely not legal in checkers. That looked like it was a bishop or a queen. Alright, the episode's over, so let me try and fix the black screen here. Relaunch Chrome. This is probably... I don't know what this is going to do this stream, because the stream is running on Chrome. And now I'm restarting Chrome. So, you know. We'll find out in a second. Good luck, everyone.
According to
all known laws of aviation, there's no way that a bee should be able to fly.
Amazon Trivia, Guinan suggests it might be possible one day to sit down and talk with the Borg. In I, Borg, the idea comes to fruition.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, we fixed it. The answer is always just toggle hardware acceleration. Alright. Let me queue up to the start. A quick 1-minute timer.
Back in the day when we had VHS, they used to sell a VHS copy of this with all the Borg episodes on one VHS cassette tape. So it was Q-Who and Best of Both Worlds. No, it was all Q episodes. So Q-Who and the one with Riker and so on.
Okay.
It was a nice little compilation.
Physical media? Gross. Don't worry, I noticed the timer. I have to manually stop the timestamp. It doesn't do it automatically. Sometimes I forget. Alright, Samaritan Snare is the next episode. Samaritan Snare. And press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. 42779.1, okay. 4-2 for season 2. Oh, this is the episode where we get confirmation that the Klingons are part of the Federation. Oh, of course you did, Data.
So I guess that went the same way as Guinan having Q-like powers.
Yeah. We've seen the Klingon ship with the Federation flag next to the Klingon flag in the background, behind the captain. This episode, we're going to get confirmation from Wesley that they're part of the Federation. So yeah, TNG seasons 1 and 2, just assume none of it is canon. You can pick and choose individual things you like, but we just have to accept that most of this is going to be overwritten later on.
Yeah, they were just giving us the feel of the show.
This doesn't get retconned. Picard's heart. No reason to retcon it, of course. I mean, it doesn't really come up that much. I still don't know what people have against Pulaski. I like Pulaski. She's the only argument I've seen against Pulaski. Well, I've seen two. One is that she's a copy of McCoy, which, okay. But the other one is that she was mean to Data, she was racist to Data, and that's why people don't like her. But that's the whole point. She doesn't understand Data as a life form at the start. And as she gets to know him throughout the season, she gets to know him better, and she changes her mind. She recognizes him as a distinct life form.
Gates, McFadden, and Beverly Crusher could never have been in those Moriarty episodes. Yeah, I agree with you.
Less canon than the animated series? I don't know. I haven't seen the animated series. Now, do we prefer to retcon Klingons being in the Federation? Or do we retcon the original Enterprise having a big inflatable balloon version of itself? Because I haven't seen it, but I've definitely heard about the balloon Enterprise, the inflatable ship.
There was also a giant pink cat species called the Kazinti, and they weren't supposed to be pink, but the artist who was
Yeah.
coloring the show was colorblind. But sci-fi writer Larry Niven wrote that episode. But the cats
And there are,
turned
of
out
course,
pink.
the Caitians, the Catalans, the cat people. So they show up in the TOS movies, I think. I think we see one. I think there's a cat person in Star Trek for The Voyage Home during the trial at the end. Oh, there's Sonia Gomez. There's Selena Gomez.
She was such a Mary Sue character.
Sonia?
Yeah,
In what way?
she was very likable for me.
But what does that have to do with being a Mary Sue?
You know, like they do everything better than everyone else on the ship. They're perfect and nice. There's no flaws other than she spilled coffee on the captain.
Does she actually do anything?
She was on her way.
If you say so.
The shuttle is called Einstein.
Why is it so flashy inside the shuttle? Just have nice even. There's no flashing light outside, so it has to be in the shuttle. Why do they have a strobe light? That's true. That's a good point. It is space, so don't worry about it. Do you do you want to tell the captain about this? He's like he's like 30 meters away. You can still tell him. He's right there. It's not like he has warp drive. He's going to be out there for a while. If the shuttle doesn't have warp drive, the Enterprise could just drop him off where he needs to go in like a minute. There's no reason to have the shuttle go on its own.
Good thing the Klingons are in the Federation. That means you don't have any enemies to worry about.
Are these original shuttles that don't have warp drive, are they good for anything other than landing on a planet? In like emergency situations. Can they do anything else?
I learned the name Feynman from TNG shuttles. So then I later found out I was a real scientist.
Okay, are they good for anything other than landing on planets and teaching you the names of some famous scientists? Okay, yeah. They can be used to get exterior shots of the ship, that's true. They can be cameras. I don't think they could be like fighter craft. I don't think they're even armed. Or if they are, it's very, very lightly. Yeah, Voyager shuttles are weaponized. Voyager shuttles can fight. They could just, yeah, that's true. They could just launch the shuttle at someone, just have it ram a ship. They could do that with a weapon instead of phasering.
In the original series, the point of the shuttle was to go down to the planet which you couldn't transport to.
Triangle ship. That ship is triangular. We're up to 10.5. You know what? That one we saw before, the one we saw before that I wasn't certain of, so we have the 0.5. I'm going to call it 11. 11 triangle ships. I don't care what else happens in the episode. We saw the triangle. That's all we needed.
It's been a productive Saturday.
Very productive. Jordy's trying to suppress a laugh at them. Oh, poor Packlets. They're far from home. I mean, that's true. Yeah, what do you mean about his eyebrows? Those are perfectly normal Packlet eyebrows. They're beautiful. Riker's beard looks like a giant spider with the blur. Oh, that'd be awful. Are the Packlet just dumb Borg? Maybe. The lower decks Packlets are kind of like dumb Borg, in that they're more aggressive. Yeah, once again, Worf is completely correct. Everything he suggests in this episode is correct. No, Data, you say that. But, I mean, he is just hypothesizing, but I think we do establish later that no, Packlets are just idiots. if it's not just that they don't speak whatever language we do very well. No, they're just dumb. Why is it still flashing inside? I was thinking when they were in the shuttle bay and it was flashing, maybe it's something to do with the shuttle launch sequence. Maybe that only happens there, but no, it's still flashing. That's awful. People have got to hate flying in a shuttle. You've always got this flashing thing in your eyes. And are they going on impulse? Do they have impulse engines or are they going on thrusters? Because, I mean, if it was something physically outside that was flashing and they are going on thrusters, they could just pivot the ship so the window's facing away from it. And they'd keep going in the same direction.
Basically, putting someone on a shuttle is abandoning them in TNG.
We don't even get the, like, specks of dust flying outside the window like we do at Warp. They're just sitting there in space. I really like that episode from Enterprise Shuttle Pod 1, where the shuttle doesn't have warp drive. And they're like, we need to go and rendezvous with someone. We need to get to this sensor array, or we need to get to this communications node. Like, what do you mean we need to get to the communications node? Everyone, the actual triangle ship, that's the same one, though. And Tucker's like, what? Sorry, not Tucker. Malcolm Reed is going on about how, what do you mean we need to get there? We can't get there. We're sublight. It'll take years. You can't travel in space meaningfully without a warp drive. Not interstellar. Malcolm Reed had some good points in that episode. Oh, hi, Reginald.
Are there any skinny MacLeods?
What do you mean? They are skinny. For MacLeods.
Well, I'm just saying is that they're kind of associating overweight and low IQ put together, which is a bit.
Now,
Not
that might be
fair.
problematic, but consider, if they're low IQ enough, they might just not know what exercise and diet is. They might not even be aware of the fact of what weight is.
Yeah, when you put it that way.
Oh, come on, Troy. The one time you can offer useful advice on the bridge and you're not there? If you were here like 20 minutes ago, we could have avoided this whole issue. What are Harada? We've heard of Harada multiple times. I think we continue hearing of them in DS9 too. But I don't think we ever see a Harada. Oh, that is an ugly shuttle. That looked like a Disneyland shuttle. Yeah, Worf and Troy. They just need to listen to Worf and Troy this episode. They can solve every single problem. But no, Riker has to be all smug. It's like, don't worry, I'm in charge now. We'll be fine. It's like, no, listen to your officers. They're better at this, apparently. Typical Picard arrogance here. Yeah, the only reason Troy wasn't on the bridge, plot. She would have been too helpful. Yeah, Picard's kind of always been pretty arrogant. We still love him because he kind of earns the arrogance, but yeah. Well, Jordy, about that, I think there might in fact be something to worry about. Is Jordy armed? Does he have a gun? Because I remember what happens to Jordy in like 5 minutes, but I don't remember how exactly it happens. Jordy is armed, he does have his phaser. No, it's not going to go without main power. It is a deep tragedy that the first triangle ship we see is just breaking down like this. The first triangle ship is in awful repair. Yeah, that kind of looks like an impulse engine on the back of the shuttle.
It's such a nice triangle, though.
It is. It's a lovely triangle.
It's the most triangular of all the triangle ships.
I mean, Wes is right here. He definitely would have preferred a Riker. But, you know, Riker's got to stay on the Enterprise and actually do stuff. Yeah, the shuttles have impulse. It's just... Impulse is still totally worthless for traveling interstellar. It'll take years to get to the starbase if they're not already in the system. Wait, what do you mean, Wesley? What do you mean he would have made a good father?
He's reading a book. Like, you're disturbing someone reading their book. And you're just like, you don't like me. I want to read a book.
And this sentiment will sort of be echoed in generations. Picard, seems like Picard would like to have had kids, but he was too dedicated to Starfleet. Now, how do the Bajorans get a hand of this ship? Get a hold of it. Why do Bajorans have so much MacLeod technology? He is smart. Oh, yep, there's the phaser. Yeah, I was wondering before, like, did the MacLeods bring their own phasers, or did they steal Geordi's phaser? Nope, that's Geordi's phaser. Then shoot him. They stole a Romulan shield generator. Wait, why is it still listing? Isn't it repaired now? I guess they haven't powered up the engines yet, or the stabilizers, or whatever they use. Oh, now they are. Look at that, they actually showed chemical thrusters stabilizing the ship. That was actually really good. And look how triangular that ship is. And fire. No, not gonna shoot him? Just shoot him. You don't have to destroy them, just get their shields down.
So the Romulans sold them their shields, huh?
Or they stole it.
I don't think they would have survived stealing from a Romulan
Yeah.
ship.
Then that begs the question of what do the Packlids have to trade? What could they offer the Romulans? It's gotta be just like raw materials. Did they trade the Romulans just a planet? Or an asteroid or something?
Eyebrow.
Maybe they found a destroyed or damaged, abandoned Romulan ship and salvaged it?
Romulans just are so sinister. I feel like there's some duplicity there. Wesley, these personal questions.
Yeah, Picard, I'm also not sure that's quite healthy advice the way you're phrasing it. There's nothing wrong with long-term commitments, you just have to be prepared for them. Starfleet itself is a long-term commitment, Picard. How long has he been a Starfleet officer? Like 30 years? 35? Seems like a long-term commitment to me.
I love in the episode Tapestry, Picard calls the woman a handsome woman.
Yeah.
She throws the water in his face.
I mean, it's a perfectly valid compliment. It's not his fault she didn't take it.
It's like, handsome. That's what you say to old ladies.
Now, I haven't seen that episode too recently. Was she even a handsome woman? It doesn't matter. You know, maybe the heart issue.
Sorry.
Maybe Picard is happy to mess with his heart even more right now. Because it's about to be replaced. Just get a new one, don't worry about it. Just wreck this one. Yeah, Wesley just said the Klingons are in the Federation. Good, good. Also, yeah, his heart is made of metal. It's probably not an issue. Man, I would love a metal heart. If I could just get all artificial organs, that would be amazing. Wouldn't have to worry about nothing. I don't know if I'd want to replace my brain with something artificial, but all the regular organs, get a metal liver, get a metal heart, get some metal kidneys, metal lungs. I don't know if metal lungs would work, but artificial lungs of some kind. And we, of course, find out in Tapestry why Picard laughed out loud when he got stabbed. It's because of the whole the time loop thing.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, the thing with cyberbrains, I mean, if you just replaced the brain all at once with a cybernetic thing, I think in a very real way that would not be you. You would be dead. Like maybe if you replaced a little tiny bit of the brain at a time and did it very slowly, so it incorporates artificial brain with real brain and very, very slowly works toward artificial brain all the way through, maybe that would still be you. I don't know. If the brain replacement can be a continued consciousness during the transfer, during the assimilation, I guess you could say, maybe that would be fine. But yeah, everything else, just swap it out. I don't need all these stupid meat parts. Yeah, I'm going full ship of Theseus with the cyber brain.
No, without that metal heart, he would have just been Lieutenant Junior Grade Picard.
Luckily, I'm not in Starfleet. I don't have to worry about any of that. Yeah, the Klingons would have solved this already.
Maybe you just be a Minecraft YouTuber instead of a Star Trek one.
Hang on, I could be a Minecraft YouTuber right now.
Okay. But just Minecraft.
Alright, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to my it's not my Star Trek. Welcome to my Minecraft world. Today we're going to be playing part 37 of Amplified. Let me go back over into survival mode. Survival here. And just have a nice fall into the water. I was actually expecting that to kill me. Alright, let me go back to Star Trek.
Instead, you're a highbrow Star Trek cast.
No. 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 Star Trek, yes. Highbrow, no. I refute that. I deny that, sir.
I'm just a fan. They didn't even review the whole season, 1 and 2. You're thorough.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the flashing. I hate the flashing, though. It's right in their eyes. And why can't they turn up the lights when Picard was reading? Is that as bright as the lights go? Troy's looking kind of arrogant here. The look on her face is just like, if you guys had listened to me, we wouldn't be in this situation. Riker. She is not amused at all. Yeah, that is the look of, I told you so. Oh, hey, they made it. Without a warp drive, apparently. That also is not a starbase. That is very clearly not a starbase.
This is still season 2. Starbases can be on the ground.
Some kind of escort. Man, she just does not trust the captain at all. Did you, Wesley? He didn't even ask you what kind of sandwich you wanted. He just gave you part of his sandwich.
It wouldn't be hard for the chief medical officer to verify that he went inside and had the surgery.
Yeah. I mean, what's he going to do when he gets back to the ship if he doesn't? He's just going to lie about it? I guess Picard could say, is like, oh, well, it'll take like months to get another appointment, so, you know, Jesus. What are you doing, Packlets? Also, what setting is that phaser on that it physically knocks people back into walls? That was a Fus Rodal level phaser. Normally people just sort of fall where they are. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Riker, did you just swear in my Star Trek? You're not allowed to do that. How dare he?
You gotta add that to your compilation.
I'm gonna have a... Oh, by the way, speaking of the compilation, I did miss one. I missed Riker swearing in, It was Insurrection, that was what it was.
It was good. Thank you for.
In fact, I even have that clip. I went through and I got all the clips. In fact, I showed the clip last week. I just missed it when I was importing them all into the video editor into Vegas. I have it, but it's not in the video. Yeah, when that video was about to go live, I was so happy with it. I was just thinking, it's like, oh, people are going to be so upset with this. It's going to be amazing. And people were. People were really upset with me in the comments. Some people.
Yeah, even in our chat, they were like, "Oh, well, he's using bastards literally." It's like, no, when Kirk is calling them Klingon bastards, he's not talking about their parentage.
I mean, you can kind of debate whether that line was racist or not from him, but I kind of think it was, because, like, if he was talking about another human, and if you replaced Klingon with, like, black or Chinese, then that sounds deeply uncomfortable.
Right, it is.
The fact that they're Klingons wasn't really relevant. Some people were saying, no, it's fine to say that because they physically are Klingons. I'm like, yeah, they are. But that's not really the point.
So the doctors are Teletubbies on this starbase?
Yeah, I'm not terribly confident in those medical outfits. No masks. I mean, that's sort of a big issue these days. Yeah, don't do that. You need a mask. Yeah, is Picard in extraordinary physical condition? Is that true? And he seems reasonably fit.
He wins a few fights in the Sherwood Forest, Nottingham episodes.
Yeah. We know he works out on the holodeck. That episode where where he and Crusher get kidnapped, he's pretty good about some hiking.
He's only 48 or 50 in this season.
So he's at least reasonably fit.
Yeah.
He's certainly more fit than I am. I need to start working out more. Oh my god. Oh no. So next week, the accurate summary. I'm not going to title it an accurate summary, but the next accurate summary, I have an idea of what I want to do, and I'm very happy with. But I want to do one about this episode, where the entire summary is done in the style of talking like a pack-led. Just the whole video. Would that be good, or would that just be awful to listen to? I guess it depends if I can pull off a stupid sounding voice. You know, stupider than I normally am. Huh. I guess the trick is it doesn't have to be good, it just has to be entertaining.
Just talking one syllable words.
Yeah, you have to. When you're going a full video gag like that, it takes more work to not just sound monotonous. It'd have to be a pretty short video. Maybe like a minute and a half.
You're only gonna get Jordy zapped at more.
Yep, 24. You know what's funnier than 24? 25. 25 is pretty good. And we kind of get a repeat of this in Voyager when they activate the photonic cannon.
Shouldn't Data be sitting in that chair where Pulaski is?
I guess Data's busy. You can't really do anything from that chair.
But he's second officer, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, that's still not a starbase. That's clearly a planet. Ah, the heterocyclic declination. Also, I don't think declination, does that mean anything in a medical sense? I mean, that's an astronomy word. Does that mean anything for medicine?
True.
I think they're just trying to say decline in a very fancy way. And yeah, refusal, like if you're refusing something. He issued a declination, but I don't think that's relevant here. I think they're making stuff up.
You need a heart surgeon. You need a cardiologist. You don't need a biomolecular. Problem isn't with the chemistry of his heart.
Oh, did they have Kool-Aid buckets in the starbase, quote unquote? Medical Kool-Aid. They can tell. Yeah, making up terminology in my Star Trek? How dare they not use real words? Which flavors of Kool-Aid? Well, typically they just have red and blue. Now, heterocyclics. That sounds like... Or not heterocyclics. Cardiocyclics. Cardiocyclics, is that just a really fancy Star Trek term for heartbeat? That sounds like just heartbeat. Cardio, heart, cyclic, the rhythm.
Why didn't they have... It's for a Starfleet captain. Why didn't they have all the medical personnel ready?
Who knows? Apparently the only person qualified is just not at the starbase.
It's like, call the biomolecular expert. Call the other expert.
They've got a buddy who knows all kinds of things about artificial hearts. That might be the last time we ever see Sonia Gomez. I don't know if she shows up again later in the episode. I think she's just dead now.
It's like the Biden campaign. They weren't worried about catering to Hispanics.
Okay, so they stole photon torpedoes from someone. I mean, I'm sure you can spare like 30 seconds to get Geordi. It's not... It can't be that urgent. You could just increase speed slightly to like 9.1. You can go faster than Warp 9. Quickly, activate the photonic cannon. Oh. Sonia Gomez is still alive. Oh, Pack-led Captain's so disappointed in them. I don't think Barclay's on the ship yet. I mean, obviously we haven't seen the actor yet on the show, but I don't think he's actually assigned to the Enterprise yet. I think it was a recent transfer when he shows up.
One of the things I liked about this episode is that just because somebody has a speech impediment doesn't actually mean that they're low IQ. There's plenty of people who don't have a great vocabulary. They're
Yeah,
actually still very smart.
that's true.
It's like we do conflate verbal intelligence with overall intelligence, and it's a mistake.
Oh no. Yeah, more evidence that the Pack-leds actually are just idiots. They're not trying to trick anyone right now. They're just being Pack-led. Yeah, not the hydrogen. The red mist. The crimson defense shield.
They just threw a glitter bomb at them.
Really? That's why they're still there? You really think the Pack-led ship could destroy the Enterprise? Even if they have photons, they can take a hit. Yeah, no consequences for the Pack-leds. But I mean, the Enterprise is busy. It has to get somewhere. Place to be, people to see. Why is Captain Picard wearing a beanie here? Why does he have a medical beanie? Is that supposed to be like a hairnet? In case he gets cold? Okay. I mean, they are presumably in space, even though they're clearly on a planet, so, what if life support fails? What if it gets cold on the starbase? Maybe it is just cold there because if we assume it's in space, maybe they're conserving power by not keeping the heat up very high.
They had all that time to wait while the patient was like on the operating table with his heart open.
Okay, they were just hanging out. Maybe these aren't medical gowns, because they look very warm. Maybe they're actually just to keep people warm. Why are you clapping? Are they just messing with him?
You're right though, that beanie made him look so hipster.
More typical Picard arrogance. Yeah, the clapping was stupid, but, don't worry about it. Typical arrogant Picard. Can't admit even the slightest bit of weakness. Can't admit he has any kind of medical problems. He's the finest physical specimen we've ever known. Absolutely nothing wrong with him ever.
The captain
Typical
never even
Picard.
gets a cold.
Never. Never gets a headache. Headache. Surely you know what a headache is. Alright, next episode. Up the Long Ladder. Up the Long Ladder. We start the countdown correctly this time. Update the title.
Do you want to show us Minecraft for a minute?
Oh, sure. So here, hang on, let me... Game mode. Creative. Let me get some, I don't know, stone brick. Nope, that's not how you spell brick. Nope, that's infested stone brick. Here they are. Okay. And give me some stairs. Okay. I have 20 seconds to build something. And then stairs here. And
I think your
there.
screen's also blurred. Sorry to say.
Oh, right. It's still blurred. I don't have time to change it. I'm just going to keep building.
Welcome to the greatest podcast for Star Trek.
All right. Everyone press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
More highbrow than any of the other Star Trek shows
All right.
on YouTube.
Now that I'm started, this is what I built. I built a little archway.
That's nice.
What does it look like during the day? There's a little archway during the day. All right, let's blur the screen again and get back to Star Trek.
Highbrow.
Oh, that's true. I should have built a long ladder. Yeah, why are they playing creepy music? Why are they acting like this is going to be spooky? I guess the spookiness comes from the weird clone murder later on.
EDM dance music.
This is a spooky sound. Though Picard doesn't look like he's saying this is spooky. He seems pretty chill.
To the distress call from a month ago, they probably died.
It's Terran. He just said it's Terran. Are we in the Mirror Universe? Now confirmed Star Trek TNG consistent in the Mirror Universe. That's why we don't have a Mirror Universe episode. This isn't real Star Trek. All of this is in the Mirror Universe. It's Terran. And that explains why later on, I don't know if it's in the show or one of the movies, they refer to Earth as the Terran system. All of TNG takes place in the Mirror Universe, confirmed.
True.
Hegemony generally refers to it. Hegemony generally has negative connotations, so that's further confirmation. Not like a European alliance, not a European Union, not a European Federation, a European hegemony.
Hegemon is like superpower, so yeah. It's like
I guess it could be positive, but generally when someone says that, thoughts don't go in a positive direction.
It's definitely not. You're right. Because in First Contact, you see that it's the Eastern Coalition, which implies Asian countries. And here it's European hegemony.
Therefore, the first real Star Trek after TOS was Deep Space Nine. Therefore, the darker, grittier tone of DS9 is true Star Trek.
Highly appropriate.
Oh, Worf. See, just like Picard, he can't admit medical problems.
Yeah, it's a macho thing. I actually read, though, men, evolutionary-wise, they tend to ignore health problems. And that actually helps their survival because you're still going out there, evolutionary-wise, procreating. Be like, yeah, I'm about to drop, but it's still a good time to have kids.
I'm about to die, but what if I just pretend that I'm not?
That's the survival mechanism. I wanted to. The ending of the last episode has Picard say, "The reports of my death are really exaggerated." And,
Is that clear?
and he uses that again, of course, in First Contact. But the original line comes from Mark Twain, and somebody wrote in a newspaper that Mark Twain died, and like basically everybody found out, like everybody read it that Mark Twain died. So he shows up to a party, and people are like, "Wow, Mark Twain's here! I thought he died like months ago," because people didn't have TV or internet back then. So Mark Twain says, reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
So is that before or after he went to a spaceship?
True. Maybe Picard showed him the line. I can't wait to get to those episodes. It's the best thing to watch late at night.
So again, about this episode, it's going to have some really weird stereotypes and it's going to have some problematic attitudes toward the Irish. We're just going to try to ignore that. Just try and, focus on the other stuff about the episode. Oh yeah, more blue and red Kool-Aid. As we all know, Kool-Aids don't really have flavors, they just have colors. Red and blue. I mean, you don't have to ignore it. We're gonna try. Just like we said we were gonna try to ignore the racism from the Space Africa episode, and then we just didn't. Bloody Klingons. Now, is this all Klingons or is this just Worf? Because, I mean, most of the Klingon fun facts Worf gives are just wrong. Klingons don't laugh? Yes, they do.
Fainting is just your blood pressure dropping, so why would their blood pressure not drop? Klingons always have high blood pressure?
I assume he'd be fine with it, Worf. Commander Riker's a pretty chill guy. So
Adults
far,
can get chickenpox. It's called shingles.
So far, Picard is... I don't think I've ever actually said this term out loud. But I think Picard and Worf, in the last episode and this episode respectively, are both displaying toxic masculinity. I don't think I've ever actually said that term. But yeah, they're... or as you said, they're trying to be macho, and for stupid reasons that just hurt them.
Yeah. And it's interesting how Dr. Pulaski comes in and rescues him.
She's understanding. She's a nice lady. Except to Data in like 2 episodes. Yeah, too much pride. Dr. Walter Granger was the captain, apparently. Thank you, Data. Data, when has a ship name ever been relevant? Yeah, spinning wheel. Why do they... I mean, that's not such an odd assortment, I would guess. If it's a colony ship, why not carry that stuff? Especially the livestock. Okay, so Liam Deegan should be alive right now. So everyone go out, do some Google searches, see if we can find Liam Deegan. We need to get him to be a philosopher. Yeah, this is the episode with when the colony split to the fancy technological society and the Space Irish society. Cause yeah, World War III should be happening in like... Is it in 10 years? 15 years? When's World War III?
Good point. But I mean, the eugenics wars would have already happened by 1996 or 1999. So we got to worry
Okay.
about Khan Noonien and Soong first.
Yeah, so World War III begins in 2026 and ends in 2053.
Yeah, but Khan Noonien and Singh has to come first.
Yeah, but that was like in the 90s, I think.
Okay, so the Supermen, the genetically superior Supermen.
Yeah, they've already
What
been
do we need?
expelled. Everything's
The
okay now.
hands. We need some handsome Supermen taking over the world with big chests.
The eugenics war was a minor skirmish.
No,
It
they
was just
conquered the
18
world
million people, so what? Yeah, we should have the Bell riots in like 2 years, I think.
with their suave accents.
Let me just confirm it's 2 years from now. It might be. No, 4 years. 2024 are the Bell riots. Yeah, Star Trek universe has a really rough time because the Bell riots happen in 2024, and that creates a lot of social change. The world really starts getting better at that point. Everything starts getting a lot better in 2024. And then 2 years later, World War III happens, and then there's the nuclear holocaust and the post atomic horror.
Hey, but we got the Yankees until like 2069.
How does that even work after World War III?
Maybe I gotta look it up. Maybe I got the dates wrong. But
Oh no,
the
I
Yankees
believe
go
you.
on till after 2050.
I definitely believe you. I just, yeah, the Earth has a good 2 years in there before the nuclear holocaust. Or at least the United States was. I don't know if the other countries were doing really well before that.
The funny thing is though, people have already stopped watching baseball.
I mean, yeah, baseball sucks. If anyone
No,
here in the chat is an avid baseball fan, you can just leave. Baseball's the worst. Get out of here.
no, it it seems that way, but I saw this Twitter feed. It was called Goldman Sachs elevator. Things overheard it in a stockbroker's elevator. That sport was invented 100 years ago when people had nothing to do but hit a ball around with a stick with their friends, and now
Isn't
we
that all
have
sports?
television. Yeah, I know, but like it's a really slow game. Like you need a hot day with nothing else to do, whereas like other sports are much more dynamic, like soccer or football. So baseball is like a lot of waiting and patience, and people don't do that anymore. Now
And
that we have,
golf?
yeah, well, that's a rich man's game, but yeah.
But what about Ambo Jitsu? Or Parisi Squares?
But I'm saying you go
When do
from
we get that?
America's pastime to nobody watching anymore,
Yeah, but when do we develop Parisi Squares? When does that replace baseball? Because that's pretty dynamic. It's assumed.
and someone in the chat brought up Cisco still plays it, so that's a good point.
I mean, yeah, but Ben Cisco also committed some more crimes, so he's also not even fully human. He's half prophet, and the prophets are weird. Yeah, Captain Picard really should be listening to his first officer here, not just cutting him off and being like, "I don't care what your concerns are. We're just doing it." And Colomini is immediately upset at this whole situation.
I mean, who energized the hay?
Who knows? Even even the Irish people in the background have sort of vacant looks, like they're not all there. Yeah.
You know,
Call him
there,
call him just focus on the pay. Just focus on the money they're giving you for this.
there's an episode with the Klingon Targ that comes on the bridge. I read somewhere that the pig or boar peed on the bridge, and that spot and smell wouldn't go away for like a couple of weeks at least.
Okay. Good. Good. Yes, let's bring animals onto our set. Fantastic. At least they didn't like glue one prosthetic to it and call them aliens.
And he has the
I
flask on him. That's
yeah.
racist.
I just want more shots of Colin Meaney, and I just want to watch his reactions to all this. Yeah, no, Danilo, that was pretty racist. You can't say that about Klingons. Well, Picard, if you didn't want this to happen, maybe you should have actually listened to what Commander Riker was trying to tell you. Oh, hey, Colin. He looks pretty upset. But I mean, he is a professional actor, so the upset look on his face is probably just about having to clean up this mess in his transporter room. Though I am with Mr. Irishman on that point, though. It's like that's a bit of pedantry. Pedantry? Pedantry? It's pretty pedantic, Picard. It's your ship. So just try to focus on the fun comedy bits. Don't worry about the wider social implications. Anachronistics, or are they like Irish Amish? Do they just decide they don't really want newer technology? Do they not want the newer technology because they just like their way of life? In which case, I mean, you do you. Or do they not want the newer technology because they're implying the space Irish are stupid and don't know how to use it? We need to study the philosophy of Liam Deegan. Okay. The baseball player? I mean, it's a good point, Worf. Why would you be standing in the fire? Riker, I'm very concerned by that look on your face. Riker, you look like you're making plans here. That's a good question. What are you staying at? Riker, stop using these lines. Riker, could you stop doing this with every woman to beam on the ship?
I mean, he learned it from his father.
To be fair to Riker, it's not just the women. He does do it with a androgynous alien later on. Though that androgynous alien does identify as female. But Riker doesn't know that at the time. Technology, don't worry about it. Yeah. Picard's saying you just have to bow to the absurd. That's basically what I mean when I say just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Just let it happen.
Yep. That's basically the motto of the first 2 seasons.
Riker, don't you have a job to do? Leave her alone.
That's
Now, does
part
that
of
count as
bowing
a
to the
swear?
absurd.
Does bloody count as a swear? Because, I mean, people say that counts as a swear, but as an uncultured Yank, I generally don't think of it as one.
It kind of is. It
But she's
swears
not a
to
Yankee.
two things. It swears, it's almost like instead of saying effing, and it's the same like unconscious action. But the other thing is though, also the blood of Christ in Catholicism kind of is really important. So you're invoking something like explicit.
Ah, how does the ship clean itself? In Discovery, we learn how it cleans itself. I mean, it's like 100 years before, so maybe it changes. But on Discovery, they have these little cleaning robots. They go around and like sweep and vacuum and mop the floors. They're actually really cute. And let me see if I can find a picture of the cleaning bots. Yeah, they're basically futuristic space Roombas. Okay. This is somewhat difficult to look up, as apparently there's a company called Discovery Robotics who makes cleaning robots. So I need to be a little more specific in my Googling. Okay, I found one kind of thing, the dot 7. But just from this page, I'm not immediately clear, is this just the external maintenance bot, or is it also the one that like cleans the conference room? But the dot 7 is the one I'm looking at. Now you leave Riker alone. I guess Riker, it's not harassment if they're both interested. Then it's just, two people flirting. Get along well. Mostly Riker harasses people, but it looks like in this case, she's into it. I assume the feet washing thing doesn't work so well these days, though, because, sonic showers, I assume they're not really directed like a water stream. I guess she could replicate like a bucket of water or something. Oh, they need to heat something up. Luckily, we know a way to heat things up in Star Trek. You just pull out a phaser, set it pretty low, and then you just shoot it, and it works. Where did they get that machine though? Did they beam that up? That distilling machine? And let's see if he agrees with Scotty's assessment later in the series. He does. Chahak How about that? Maybe they should have given Scotty some Chahak. What? Are you okay?
How did he do that with his eyeballs?
He's he's a professional actor.
It's amazing.
He's good at his job.
He's really good.
Yeah, we got Klingon cups for the Klingon drink. I don't think he can handle much of anything right now. Luckily, it's nice and warm on the Enterprise, because, I mean, just looking at what that lady's wearing, she needs a coat or something. You're in space. I guess they just got to turn up the environmental controls a little bit. Yeah, her dad's wearing a coat. Everyone is dressed in several really warm layers, but not her. Wilson Granger. Yeah, I was about to say, Data. Thank you, Data. That, I remember the captain of the ship was Granger. And then this episode just takes a hard left turn as soon as they beam down. Just a complete change in tone. Up to this point, it's basically been a space comedy. Now it's like trying to go body horror on us. Or existential horror. Oh, look at the rings at the bottom left. There's a shadow of the Enterprise on the rings of that planet. That was pretty good. Yeah, Counselor Troy. I mean, she's correct that something's weird down here. Something's messed up. However, nobody's going to listen to her. Nobody listens to Troy, just like no one listens to Worf. The planet was sort of weirdly small, yeah. The shadow of the Enterprise should have been imperceptibly small, just tiny. It's a weird statue, though. Is it holding a bowling ball? Is that a bowling statue? Is that how you bowl? Do you just hold your arm up into the side elevated and then just toss it? You'd think they'd find some way to distinguish themselves. But no, they're all actually just identical. Clones. Clones.
Valos was a book written by Philip K. Dick, sci-fi writer. So I don't know if they stuck that in there. It was a really
Wait,
great book.
what was it? What was the name?
Valos, VALS.
Okay.
It was an acronym for something. But the TNG
Yes.
writers were very up to date on their other sci-fi reading.
200,000 clones are ready, and 1 million more well on the way. Unfortunately, they did not get Tamora Morrison for this. If they just had every single person in the colony be Tamora Morrison, that would have been pretty good.
So Dr. Pulaski just shines a laser pointer at people and she knows if they're clones or not?
Well, I mean, everyone was identical. There were like quadruplets and triplets everywhere.
True.
It wasn't very subtle. Man, if we got Tamora Morrison, we could have had every single member of the colony could have had a Kiwi accent. It would have been great. I'll have time for some exposition. Thank you, Riker, for giving us an opportunity to explain that to the audience.
So Pulaski's like a viral expert, a cloning expert, and a heart expert.
She's good. She's a good doctor.
Why did they call Crusher? She should have been head of Starfleet Medical.
She is. That's where she is right now.
No, I mean Pulaski should have been head of Starfleet.
Oh, Pulaski, okay. Does it, Riker? Is this how you feel about Thomas? Actually, it is kind of how you feel about Thomas Riker, yeah. I guess that's pretty consistent. Though he gets over it pretty quick.
Yeah, TNG's not very nice to clones.
So I'm going to set up a straw poll right here. Would you be willing to be cloned? Would you be willing to clone for the colony? Yes? No? Create poll? There, in the chat. Would you be willing to be cloned for the colony? Let's see how different we are from the Enterprise crew. Because the Enterprise crew, they say that literally nobody on the ship would be willing. The clone would just go and live on the colony. It wouldn't go out into the wider universe. It would go and live on... I don't remember what the colony was called. Was it Varus? Valus?
Mariposa?
That was the name of the ship, but is that the name of the colony too?
Oh, sorry.
I mean, it might be. They often name colonies after the ship. There's the shadow again.
I think he calls it a Class M planet, that's all.
Alright, so the poll says, with 5 votes, 5 people said yes, 5 people said no. Half and half. Also, yeah, you can't do that. They just shot Enterprise crew members. No. So, half the people here would be willing to be cloned. Actually, I didn't vote. I'm gonna vote too. And I'm gonna say yes, I'd be willing to go for the cloning. I think that's fine.
Just don't torture it. Or harvest it for organs.
Yeah, don't do any of that. But if half the people here would be willing to be cloned, they could like send out a message to the ship. They just be like, "Hey, does anyone want to volunteer for this cloning program? Here's all the details. Here's a message from the people who are asking. Here's what they would do with it." They could ask.
Like they're harvesting stem cells from the spinal cord. There was a guy, it's on YouTube, who lost his dog, and he decides to clone it. He was from Japan. He spends $100,000, and the dog's name was like Momoto, and so he realized though that the dog wasn't the same as the one he spent $100,000 to clone on. So he's like, okay, this isn't Momoto, this is Momo-san. But even your clone will have very different psychology than you. May not even like you.
Nurture over nature. The genes
Yeah.
might be exactly the same, but how the dog's raised is going to make a difference.
I would hate for my clone to hate me.
I think they say they take epithelial cells, which I think are a real thing. I don't. It's been a while since I took a biology class. Yeah, epithelial cells.
I would hate for my clone to be a Trek Yards fan instead of this show.
I don't know anything about Trek Yards. Though I try not to start YouTube drama by not naming the Star Trek channels that I hate. There are some, but I'm not going to specify which ones.
Sorry.
I mean, you can start YouTube drama. You're not. But
yeah, just saying.
Me, the person running the channel, I'm gonna.
I've never really watched their stream. It's just they never finished season 1, you know. So Brian's edit is where it's at. I don't see them doing intakes. Their commentary isn't half as insightful.
Oh yeah, here's the murder. Gonna get some good old murder.
Bloody murder.
However, actually, no, I'm not. You know what? I'm not even gonna say what I was thinking of because I don't want to start an argument. And just pretend I said nothing.
We both said yes to cloning, so.
But I'm. Yeah. I'm just looking up Trek Yards now. What does Trek Yards do? They have reviews of the recent episodes. Okay, so they do. Not a watch along exactly, but they go through the entire episode and review it. I'm really just looking to see, does Trek Yards do any of the anything new is evil? Anything new and different is bad. Do they do any of that?
Yeah, they're not as bad as some other channels, but.
So, I mean, I'm really only going based on their titles, but it looks like they might be okay. And that's all I got to say about that until I actually watch something they do. It's not a controversial opinion that I was going to bring up about the clones. It was a question I was going to pose that lots of people do have controversial opinions on.
They don't need to clone members of the Enterprise. They just need new colonists to introduce new genetic material. Walking Dead universe confirmed.
All right, I'm not going to make any comment on it, but I will pose the question. Is them eliminating the clones while they're still maturing, is that analogous to abortion? And that's all I've got to say about that.
It's a good question. It's insightful. This is why you're better than any other YouTuber out there.
And Riker did say, shouldn't we have control over our own bodies? After he killed them.
Yeah, Hana wrote in the chat, they could just make children the regular way. They don't even need new colonists. Because sexual reproduction has the random lining up of chromosomes.
So I think they said they don't have enough people,
diversity.
an insufficient population to sustain long term.
Oh, okay, well, I guess they read my mind.
I think. Honestly, I haven't really been paying much attention. I've been looking at Trek Yards video titles. Just going off memory. Blatherskite. Now, should I have included that in my swear compilation? Is Blatherskite a swear? I used the
Malarkey.
The Chakotaya transcripts to get that. And I remember this part when he said blatherskite, it was listed as just the B word. It didn't say blatherskite. It didn't actually literally say the B word. I'm just trying to be family friendly here. I say I'm trying to be family friendly.
I
As
remember
I
when I
really,
first looked
yeah,
up
go ahead.
the word swear, even by George, which people don't say anymore, but in the 90s, people did say it here and there. Even saying by George is kind of a swear, but
Everyone knows the correct way to say by George these days is by the Nine Divines.
right.
By the Nine Divines. Yeah. That's the whole point, Minister, is that they're different. That doesn't sound healthy.
Okay, that's why they don't have regular kids.
Yeah, they just refuse to do that.
If you've ever read Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, in that future too, people don't do it. It's like disgusting. Only people in Native American reservations still do it
Oh,
the old-fashioned way.
that colony was called Mariposa. You were correct.
Thank you. That's why I'm your co-captain or
Okay.
second officer, first officer.
How dare you? Are you calling that fine specimen of a man repugnant? What about this handshake is repugnant? How rude.
I mean, you should see his daughter before you start saying no to the idea.
I mean, she might be repugnant. That woman can't even put a sweater on when it's cold out. How ridiculous. Just put a coat on. Everyone else is wearing a coat. Put a coat on, lady. What are you doing?
And
Disgusting.
he was trying to marry his daughter off to Picard. So,
Exactly. Just trying to get rid of her. I mean, look at that. She's gotta be cold.
she was wearing a corset before too.
Is that confusion or...
Everything.
I'm not quite sure how to read
Shock.
this expression.
Shock, confusion, incredulity.
I like how the background music is actually just people playing music in the background. There's actually a dude with an accordion.
Yeah, diegetic sound. It's called in the film world.
I assume the confusion was more at the pregnancy, probably not the goat. Because, you know, the whole denying their carnal nature for 300 years thing. I mean, I guess it might be the goat. Maybe he wasn't confused at all. Maybe he just really wanted to pet the goat. It was a pretty cute goat. Did she just swear on my Star Trek? It's more likely than you think. Yeah, it is a bit odd that they didn't really tell the Brynloidi anything about this, or the Mariposans anything really about this. They just kind of... made the decision with the leaders, then everyone just has to accept it. They say they can leave, but can they really? If they actually want to leave, they're going to be leaving their entire culture, everything they've ever known. I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's put on some music. And that was the first third of the stream. Now let's get back into the real stream, Minecraft. Let's see. If I put this here, I'm thinking if I carve out a little area here, what I want to do... Oh yeah, next episode is, that's going to be Pulaski being racist to some fish people. So that should be fun. Oh no, not Pulaski. Pulaski's cool with it. It's going to be, Loxana Troy being racist to some fish people. Loxana Troy's the one who's not cool about it. So what I'm thinking here is I have this little archway. And then... What if I get some glass here?
And Discovery spoilers too.
Okay, go ahead.
Minecraft first, obviously. No, I mean, you go ahead. Tell us about your wonderful world.
Well, I'm thinking, if I make a glass thing, pretend this is taller. Pretend this is like 10 blocks higher, this is a larger gateway. What if I put... What if I did this as a light source? I'm not totally convinced about that. I'm not convinced. So what if... Get rid of that, first off. Let me, in fact, make this a little bit longer. Because, yeah, I don't like this. I don't think this is good. Get rid of all this. Get rid of all this junk. Make this like 2 blocks longer. See, I was doing this as a real quick joke before I ended the stream, but now I'm actually kind of... Now I actually kind of want to build this little thing. I can't help it. Minecraft's a good game. It's a good game. So I'm thinking, what if I do this, and then put a thing here? And I feel like this sort of glass jutting down, I think that could work in a long tunnel design. It doesn't work for a short tunnel. But I think it could be okay for an extended thing. What I would really want are like glass stairs here. So if like you could pretend those are stairs, I think that would look really nice. They didn't add that, did they? No, they didn't. But I think this could work. In fact, what's the light level in here? Let me find out where they say the light... Okay. So yeah, this is bright enough. You want either block light 8 or 9, I think, to stop mob spawning, maybe in 7. But 9 is high enough at any rate. So this would prevent mob spawning, which is the important thing. Alright, that's enough Minecraft. That's enough of that, thank you.
It looks like the portal, kind of. The Iconian portal.
Oh, and since someone asked, is this what Minecraft looks like now? To be clear, this is with a mod, with shaders. This is what it looks like normally. It looks a little bit worse.
Oh, I like your
Not quite as
version.
fancy.
That's cool. It's less blocky.
Yeah, with the shaders, you get some nice ray tracing going on. Well, I don't know if it's real ray tracing, but you get some nice shadowing effects. Looks nice. The water looks pretty good. Clouds look a lot better. And the important thing about the clouds looking better, when you turn off, this is a Minecraft stream now, when you turn off the shaders, you get the real clouds. The real clouds are at a level that they cut through the mountains. So just like over there you can see, there's a cloud in the middle of a mountain. With the shaders on, it gets rid of the the normal clouds and just puts them in the skybox, so you don't get that effect anymore. Which I think really helps with the effect in very tall areas.
Yeah, Second Life does the same thing with the sky.
Oh, and if you were curious about my computer specs, there they are. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be DS9. Let me look up what DS9 episodes there are. DS9 season 2. I think we're still on 2. So it's going to be the Jem'Hadar, the season finale, and then it's going to be the Search parts 1 and 2, and the House of Quark. So the Jem'Hadar, the Search, and House of Quark. By the way, if you want to go to this exact place in a Minecraft world, the seed is just Ryan's edits. Very creative. Next week is not going to be a 4-parter. 4-parters are only going to be for when there's 2-parter episodes. Next week is not a 2-parter for TNG. Anyway, that's it for now. That's enough Minecraft, that's enough Star Trek. And if all of you folks, if all of you can just go away.
Have a great day. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
We'll decide if we're doing Shades of Grey on the day of, honestly. I'm kind of leaning towards yes. Maybe I'll have half the screen be Shades of Grey, and half the screen play Minecraft. And we just... we just try and get through it.
That makes preeminent sense.
Maybe I can just build something. I think we're gonna watch Shades of Grey. I think we will. I'm leaning in that direction. We'll play Minecraft while we watch or something. Try and make it more bearable. Because, yeah, it's a bad episode. But we're gonna get through it. Build a Riker replica? I can do that. Get a little pixelated picture of Riker and try and do a pixel art thing. Not using one of those tools that makes it for you. But actually just getting a picture of Riker, pixelating it myself, and then just trying to copy it manually. But we'll see. We'll see. Stream's over. Go away.
You guys are the best.